Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What Map, your non-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? It's Friday, which means it's request day, and this was a subscriber request a long while ago, almost obsolete now, but we're going to review it anyway because it's also very relevant at the same time. Does that make sense? It will do later. The asset is this waterborne one, and the theme of LUT combinations, that's 4 different themes with one single LUT. Right, before we crack on with today's map, I've got an apology to make. If you go back to Tuesday, where we had another creator request, there was this one, Rivette, a 1233 map by 1233. Very, very pretty map. It had a few detailing problems. Now, 1233 has updated the map, apparently. I've not been and checked, but I take them on their word, and many of the problems have now been corrected. However, I did go on to say, quite at length, that the non-vanilla trees, like these candy floss ones we're looking at now, they should have been in the required fields on the workshop. But they weren't, and I ended up losing the map a star for gameplay potential because these wouldn't have appeared if you hadn't subscribed. However, I've been told that they are indeed vanilla. They came with green cities, so I'm putting that extra star to rights. 3 stars for gameplay for Rivette, a 1233 map by 1233. If you've not been and had a look at it, it might be worth checking, because if it's been updated, maybe these problems are now smooth as silk. Speaking of smooth as silk, today's map, Monaco with Provence theme by Big Bad Nonja, with extra credits also for Mr. Miyagi. Now this one, like I say, was a subscriber request quite some while ago, and I put it up as for vote on Patreon, and my Patreon fellows have voted it in with 66%. There's your start square. 66% of the vote, which is incredibly high. Now, of course, it's almost obsolete now because there is a new, there's your resources by the way, there's a new Monaco to go by thanks to Mr. Miyagi and the wonderful Pug. If you've not been following Pug Gaming, go and subscribe to him now. There's an incredible series that he's working on at the moment, so many contributors, and anyway, that's probably the Monaco map you're going to want to play. However, this was requested and it has been voted in, and I don't feel that I should overrule my my fellow dudes and dudettes over on Patreon. So we're going to look at it anyway. Right. Anyway, the Provence theme, very nice that it is. We're following the highways and the rail here. We're just going to go flying over. It's not going to be the longest review in history, this one, but it is actually quite a nice map, even given it's now, like I say, obsolete but still relevant. It's still relevant. Hey, what have I said? I've said that twice. Anyway, highways, very nicely done. Can't really say much about these. Bending and twisting and winding. Monaco, of course, is an independent, I'm going to call it a country. It is a country, sort of. It's a principality. Self-sufficient. Very wealthy people live there. Very, very wealthy people live there. Right, I can't. Where's this? Is winding through the hills. By the way, we are going to get there. Now there is some very, very nice raised highways in Monaco. A little bit glitchy there, by the way. A little bit jinky janky. Not glitchy at all. Jinky jankies are the words I'm using for that. Yeah, this intersection's flowing very freely. Very nicely done. What I would have preferred, though, and it's just a personal thing, would have liked that road going on to be 2 lanes rather than 1, because we've gone down from 3 lanes to 1 lane, and that's probably a little bit tight. But that's just me. Also, there you go, street lights glitching through the overpass. Once again, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a super old map, but obsolete. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Go and have a look at the new map. Why am I not reviewing the new map? Because I'm just being I don't know, a stick in the mud. I'm just doing as I'm told. I'm doing as I am told, reviewing this map. I feel dumb, really. Well, I should be a rebel. I should say, two fingers to you guys. Oh, hang on. There we go. A little bit jinky-janky there. 2 fingers to you guys. That's a British thing, by the way. 2 fingers, I guess a lot of you think victory. If I just say 1 finger to you guys, that the rest of the world will understand. I wouldn't do that to you. You're my friends. And I'd be lost without you. Actually, I really would. It was a tight old turning there, isn't it? Right, okay. Right, we're heading down towards the bay. Now, like I say, the terraform is obviously from... there you go. There's a potential start location there. It's tiered. It's built into the hills, Monaco's, and it's tiered, leveled up. This is nice. Nice palm tree lines just to feed you into the posh part of the city, the wealthy part of the city. Very nice. Right, and now if we head down towards the centre of Monaco now, with the marina there, very posh yachts will be moored in there. Very posh yachts. Now this road here, this is marking out the route of the Formula 1 Grand Prix track, which is a street circuit. The where it doesn't join up, that is a tunnel, which this was built obviously before Bloody Penguin's tunnel mod was made for putting in tunnels in the map editor. But yeah, that circuit looks pretty much like I understand the Monaco street circuit to look. So I agree with that. I'm very happy with that. We'll follow the rail now. Yes, Formula 1. It's kind of like it's racing cars. If you don't follow your Formula 1, I know in America you like your NASCAR. NASCARs are like stock cars. These are like big beefy racing cars. Although they've been I don't know, they've had electric motors put in them a little bit now, and they're just modernising them every year. They've got very open wheels as well. Very open. Yeah, you just look at that. Formula 1. That'd be the easiest way to do it. Formula 1, FIA. That's the one. But anyway, yes, they've got a street circuit. I'm not particularly big on the Monaco Grand Prix. That ends there. We'll just move on past the centre of the town and carry on the other side where there's another rail line. Lovely. Yeah, I'm not big on the Formula 1 Grand Prix. They won't stop it because obviously the money that comes in from Monaco for hosting it there, that's just it's not worth their while to stop doing it. But yeah, back in the old days when cars were slimmer, you could overtake on that street circuit. But these days it's just a procession, and it's I just said it's 2 or 3 overtaking places, and it's just just worthless. Anyway, what's not worthless is this map. It's very nice. Okay, let's prepare ourselves now for the asset review, because I think it might be the highlight of today's show. Oh, what do you reckon? What do you mean? The map's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, maybe. It's the asset review time. We had to get there. Now this one, the Sunken Ships Monument by Sevastopol. No, Sunken Ships Monument, Sevastopol by Furious, not by Sevastopol. Yes, this is a monument that you have to place on the water. I think it looks really nice. Obviously not here. You'd want it out in your harbour or coming into the city, that sort of way. I think it's very, very nice. I think it would work actually in a lot of cities. I would definitely be using it next time I build a city. Yes, I just put, as we got asset corner is full of water at the moment, it made sense to use it for more than just yesterday's bridge. So Sunken Ships Monument, Sevastopol by Furious, and I'll be furious if you don't subscribe to it. I'm furious at you, furious and angry and cross. Shipping routes. Shipping routes, you've got one like that, and then you've got another one like this. You can't go far wrong, to be honest with you. That's simple. Simply done. Water flow. Now this has been very much based not just around the 25 squares, but actually around the city itself. we have got water flow. It's all pushing out from the city centre location, which is about here, actually just off centre from the city centre. Basically, if you're building this map as Monaco, you'll be fine. As you come out this way, there's no water flow on the edges of the map. So yeah, but if you're doing it properly, you'll have no problem with that. Right, it's a beautiful map from up here. Very nice from up here. Like I say, it's not a forgiving map. Like I say, if we come down to this way, if you see these hills, you'd be able to do a little bit of building into the hills, just a little. But it's all around the terracing in the Monaco city centre location. Like here, you can just start seeing the terracing coming in now. And it's just, yeah, I say, you're not going to make the bigger city here. But like I say, Pug Gaming, if you go over to his channel, I think this year the must-watch thing, City Skylines wise, will be Pug's build, where he's got all these different contributors, all making different assets to be able to produce a city that's hopefully going to look, well, it's not exactly like Monaco because it's never going to be the scale, but it should look pretty damn good. It really should. There's no reason why it shouldn't, and I applaud him for even taking the challenge. I mean, goodness me. Anyway, the rest of the map, if you want to play it not as Monaco and just as a city build, I'd say it's challenging. The hills are, well, troubling, but that's how it should be. That is how it should be. My goodness. Right, so what can I say about Monaco with Provence theme by Big Bad Nonja? Well, aesthetically, I think it looks about right. I don't think it's a glorious looking map, but I think it looks about right. And for that, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Detailing, not really too much to say about it. I mean, it's okay. Middle of the road, I think. We'll give it 3 stars. Not really much more. I'm sure the new improved map will be worth a lot more than that. Gameplay potential, tough map to play. Challenging map to play, but if you want a map you want to build Monaco, this is the map. And based on that, I'm going to give it 4 stars for gameplay potential. So it's Monaco with Provence theme by Big Bad Nonja. Co-credits to Mr. Miyagi. Now, would I give it a seal of approval? I was thinking seriously about this actually, for giving it the seal of approval, but I don't want to approve this map when I'm saying you should be using the modern map, the new map. So I'm going to try to remember to put a link into that in the description for you guys as well. And that's the one I want you to go and check out rather than this particular map. Does that make any sense to you guys? I hope so, because it's been a long day. My head's not firing now and I'm just basically opening my mouth and words are falling out. That's kind of how it works, you know. So anyway, on to the themes, etc. Now this time we are going back to using 1 LUT and the 4 themes that you've viewed over the last 4 days. The LUT of course is Realistic 1.2. And the top left hand corner we are running with Frostic Fall. And the top right hand corner we have Tonopah AZ. And then the bottom left is the Aegean Temperate. And in the bottom right, we've got the new Calendonia Concrete. Now, there's not really much more for me to say. I'm sure a lot of you will be actually viewing this with a lot more interest than when we're doing the 4 different LUTs, because you can actually see the texturing differences, and it certainly makes for an interesting watch. If I'm honest with you, time-wise, this is infinitely more time-consuming, because each time I want to record a different theme, I have to reload the game and basically load the map again, and it just takes an eternity for me to do each different theme. Whereas with LUTs, I can just change the LUT actually in game, and it saves me some time. When you consider that we're talking about nearly 4 hours per episode of What Map now, well, sometimes I just have to save a little time here and there. Okay, right, well, I've warbled on enough. Shall we have a look at some of these majestic trivia nuggets that I've collected. This time I'm going to be reading from one of my trivia books, and let's see what we've got today. The very first episode of Doctor Who, you know Doctor Who, yeah, it was shown on November the 23rd, 1963, which is the day after President Kennedy was assassinated. The nation was so shocked, though, that the show went unnoticed, and the BBC repeated it a week later, and it was watched by loads. It went down an absolute treat, and I don't know what happened to it. Oh no, it's still going today, that's right. Right, the lobster. It takes it 7 years to reach a weight of just half a kilo. Half a kilo. You think about how small half a kilo is, really. It's 7 years to go to that size. The hair on your head, if you've got any, grows at a rate of 0.34 millimeters a day. Yeah, I remember those days, having hair. The average 2-year-old learns 16 new words a day. I mean, oh God, if I could do that with foreign languages. I mean, I struggle with English. And it's one of those things, I think we do need to teach our children a second language from a very early age. It would be amazing. Think of what this world would be like. Okay, right. Spam. Spam, spam, spam. A can of spam, that's spiced ham if you're unaware, is opened every 4 seconds. Even now. Spam. Goodness. Who eats spam these days? I'll stick it in the comments if you've had spam in the last 12 months. I don't believe there's going to be many of you. I certainly haven't had spam for years. A hippo can open its mouth wide enough to fit 2 small people inside. It's true. Right, if you add half a glass of lemonade to a vase of flowers, the bubbles will prolong the life of the flowers by up to a week. There we are. I'm sure the sugar content would also help somewhat. Right, so turn a couple of pages, shall we? Ah, hello. There's something here. What? No, I disagree with this one. I'm reading this from the book here. Right? The Earth is not round. It's actually slightly pear-shaped. And I would say elliptoid. I don't believe it's got wide hips. The American composer, John Cage, created a piece entitled 4 minutes 33 seconds. What's unusual about this piece? It's totally silent. That's inspired, I must say. Shirley Temple, the 1940s child starlet. There were always 56 curls in her hair. Wow. Just wow. I wouldn't have thought it would be consistent, but apparently so. Most adults have between 2 and 5 colds a year, and toddlers have between 4 and 8. I can't remember the last time I actually had a cold. Occasionally I get a sniffle, but I think you guys will notice when I actually have a cold, because my voice will disappear and I'll be sniffling and snorting into the... I suffer from asthma, yeah, I mean occasionally I'll be wheezy, but that's not a cold. I'll let you know next time I've got a cold, and then you can say, well, mark one of those off. So between 2 and 5 a year apparently. So, shall we do one more? One more, yeah. No matter how cold a temperature falls outside, the windows of an empty house will never frost over. There you go. That should do it for today, I think. Maybe I'll close that book up now. I'll go back to that one. That was quite interesting. Right, well anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget, you can click the link on the left hand side, will take you to the most recent video in the series, and the one on the right will take you to another What map in the series. Click the big circle and that will subscribe you to the channel instantly. And don't forget, you can join me on Patreon to give you a chance to vote for these maps. There's one for next week. I need your votes for next week. Only cost you $1. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.